BigZ&OG's podcast, and we got a special episode this week. We got my one and only brother, my little brother Jonathan, my fresh in blood. Some people call him my son. Some people call him my identical twin. Hey man, introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, like my brother said, some people call me Jonathan, some people call me John. I'm currently a junior in college. I'm currently at Jacksonville University. I, s- my major is I study It's called biodiversity, ecology, and conservation. Um, what it is, it's really uh, we look at oceans, we look at different habitats, and we kind of see how animals and organisms work together and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, um, so that's a little bit about me. Um, but, but yeah,
Let's start off by doing this. My very first question is, um, what important time in life in general did you decide this is what you wanted to do as a career? When did you feel like you first fell in love with this genre of work?
um, so for me, uh, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so for a long time, and so I kind of changed what I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to do something in the sciences, but it didn't really click for me until I got into high school, where I joined a program where they worked with animals. And basically, I had a teacher that she kind of convinced me to go into the marine science type of thing. She's like, because originally I wanted to be a animal vet, so a veterinarian. But she's like, no, 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 that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna make you marine science, and I didn't believe her at first, but she convinced me, and so that's where I kind of fell in my love. She had me start working with her fish tanks and stuff like that, and she showed me how everything works, and I fell in love from there. And then that lab kind of basically my second home until I graduated. And so and then yeah, so that's really where it took off for me. Um, so yeah.
So what do you currently got going on? Do you have any like projects going on?
Um
Have you done anything interesting while being in college?
yeah. So this summer, so one big thing was this summer I just got done doing an internship. Basically, uh, I got flown out for free and all this stuff, and I basically all I did was research, and it was one of the greatest things in my life so far. Um, and so I got to do that, and we just got actually just yesterday. Could you not? We just got the so we been working on for months a publication. So basically, an article that will get published, and I'll be an author for it. And we just got the news the other day. It's gonna be going through. It's official. So that's exciting. But besides that, at
Time
school,
out, time out, time out. Do not gloss over the fact about how you are one of the very few people in your age group to complete such feat.
yeah, it's a really big deal, especially for someone my age. It's exciting. It really is. It may not seem like it, like how I'm saying it, but I am really stoked about it. Um, I think just for me, it just hasn't really felt surreal yet until it officially comes out. But yeah, no, it's exciting. So yeah, it's just it's kind of weird to think about how much I have done in my career already. But obviously, I know there's a lot more to do, and so, but yeah, but yeah, the whole process is really fun, and so yeah, but yeah, I'm super stoked. We're all super stoked. Um, but yeah, um,
Um, if somebody came up to you, somebody 15 years old, and they come up to you and say, "Hey, Jonathan, I need some advice. How do I get through this? How do I get to where you at so far in your path of your career? What's some advice you would give a young what advice would you give a young Jonathan?
Um, I guess really finding that passion, finding finding something that you really want to give 100% effort to. I think that was the biggest thing. I know that I remember in high school that was something you told me is like when I decided to go into the ag program, he was like, okay, give it 100%, 110%. And so that'll be like my biggest thing. Make sure you find something that you're really passionate about, and take every single opportunity. That's the biggest thing with
Hmm.
me is I if you ask anyone that knows me, back at JU, they know I take every single opportunity, even if it may not be something that I'm like, eh, I'm not really into it. Like for example, the internship, the stuff that I was doing originally, I was like, do I really want to do it? And so I went and did it anyway. And it was the best thing in my life. So I think those are like the two biggest things I would give advice to someone for sure. Um, but yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because I know you because I know for a minute, for growing up, watching you grow up, you know, to be because I know for the longest time you was one of those kids. I ain't going to college. I don't know about college. I'll just get a
well,
job.
well, for me, it wasn't necessarily like I didn't want to go to college. I just didn't think college was an option for me. I always, because just the people, I always talked to and stuff like that, I just never thought college was an opportunity for me until I kind of instilled it in my own head, like, yeah, you're gonna go to college. But for the longest time, that's how it was kind of like for me. But yeah,
That's, I mean, in my opinion, college is definitely an option. It's
oh
just
yeah, yeah,
you probably didn't feel that way because you was like me growing up. School is just school, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
That's one thing I tell people to this day. I said, that's the one thing I admire about Jonathan is because he learned how to love school.
yeah,
Me, I just always got by just to get
yeah.
by,
Cause my whole
Like I was always smart, I was always intelligent, but I only applied it when I desperately needed to apply it. Like I didn't just wake up to school and be like, all right, I'm gonna get a 90 today.
yeah.
Nah, that wasn't
And
never my
that was a
thing.
lot that like even like with my friends now and like other people like I was like they have like their parents they're like really like strict on them on like the grade that they need to set every day, and so for me I had to kind of figure that out for myself a little bit. And but when I started to figure that out, it was like okay, I really do like school and specifically science, so I mean
Me being your guardian, since I knew what type of student I was, when I was a little lean on you, the older you got, because the older you got, I just felt like you need, I'll tell you, but you just gotta figure it out. But like Maple Street days, middle school days, I used to be hard on you. Listen, if you ain't getting at least an 80, it's not acceptable.
yeah,
Like there'll be times you come up with your report card and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's good, why this is a 75,
yeah,
you know? Because like you said, other people growing up, I'm not going to say our parents
yeah,
didn't give a hell if we had good grades, but it wasn't like we was getting prizes for getting good grades. It
yeah.
wasn't like if we get a 95, we getting some ice cream.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
a 95 is a 95 and a 70 was a 70,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like other people, they have motive to get good grades. You
Yeah.
get good grades, you get a new car. You get good grades, you get $100. And you can get a video game. It was more here. If you good, if you don't get in trouble, then you all right. then we in good standards. But once you start getting bad, once I start getting calls from the school, then we got a problem.
right,
You know? Because you gotta think about it. In our family history in general, we don't not many people graduated college. Not many people went to college. So
yeah,
it was like, for example, I tell people all the time the sole reason why I graduated high school is to because my our mother gave us as children one job: graduate high school. That's the only job we had growing up. She says she only has one dream, and that's to watch all her kids graduate. So that's the premise of me graduating, really, because I was everybody and people who know me. I was bull crapping. I was half assing in school, but I had to make sure Jonathan didn't take the same paths as me. And I know sometimes he probably thought I was an asshole, but I can guarantee you that some of the decisions I made for him he appreciates now.
yeah,
So now if he ever have children, he know what's the right way to go by it because I told him no a lot. Nah, that ain't happening. Why not? Yeah, nah. Don't ask no questions, because everywhere I was at, Jonathan was at. You don't see Isaiah without Jonathan. It was
mm-hmm.
like two peas in the pot. That's why people call me his father. That's why some people call him my twin.
Yeah,
It's like, if Jonathan ain't can't come, I can't come. If Jonathan too young, if Jonathan this, Jonathan that, I ain't going.
right,
You know, I you know it was just you know it was just what it was, and
yeah,
that's just what it is. And watching this young man blossom into the young man that he's become is it's an honor. It's a joy. It's like
yeah,
I don't I don't celebrate it as much as the next people celebrate it. It's because I've seen it already.
yeah,
Like when he was 10, 12 years old, I was you great. You have the potential to be whatever you want if you apply yourself. I seen this being with him every day, raising him. I seen this every day. So everybody else who may doubt him or be like, I don't be having the same reaction because I already done seen this. I already, you know. So it's like, So outside of that, outside of your career, what would be, or not outside your career, but inside your field, what would you want to be? What would you want to become? Like, have you
um,
decided what area would you would like
mm,
to go?
no, so with me, I'm kind of like in an interesting place right now. Uh, you know, I I was like kind of upset with myself a little bit for it, but my professors, they remind me every single day that I'm actually in a really good and unique situation. I'm in a place where I have done so many things, like, and I've done like different types of field work and all that stuff, where like I can't find necessarily what I don't like, and so I kind of like everything about it, and so for me, it's like, okay, well, this is a good thing for me because obviously I'll have more job opportunities and in general just more opportunities for myself. So for right now, I think for me it's just still trying to take the most opportunities I can and try and really figure out what that job is for me. But um, one thing I've really fell in love with is looking at things from a bigger perspective instead of a lot of people I know, they try to work with one thing, but the thing about me is I try to work with multiple things, and I try to see the bigger picture of how things work. And so one thing I really fell in love with is ecology work, and ecology is that's what ecology is. It's you're looking at the bigger picture, and I had the pleasure of working with an ecologist over the summer, and she was explaining to me what she does, I just kind of loved it from that. But yeah, for me, I'm still trying to figure out my path, which is okay. Um, but yeah,
What is the biggest accomplishment that you feel like you have achieved? You're going on almost your fourth year in college. What would be your greatest achievement that you are proud of yourself? And it don't gotta be college, just in life in general.
um, I guess for me, it's just seeing where I started and where I am now because like it when I was like super young, if you had told me I would have been like where I am now, I wouldn't believe it, like even just like the things that I'm just jumping at and taking like the opportunities like for me to do, especially just to the jump I did to go to school, like going to Jacksonville, like that was a leap that everyone thought that was, oh, no, I want to say everyone, but majority of people thought was crazy for me to do, but I took
Side
it.
note, shout out to Jacksonville University. I won me
Yes, for
some money
sure.
last night. I
Oh,
appreciate y'all on a personal note. I appreciate that.
oh, for
But
basketball.
yeah.
I was like, what?
they they hit on my parlay.
I didn't even know you had them on your parlay. That's hilarious.
They hit on my parlay. I appreciate you guys.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I didn't even know they were on the parlay for you.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Um.
So
So
how has Jacksonville treated you in 3.5 years?
I would say, um, it treated me. It was hard to adjust, but it's been good and it's been fun. I think the biggest thing my biggest thing of coming out of high school is that I needed something to challenge me because my whole thing is like if it doesn't challenge me, it's not I'm not gonna change. Like I need
Hmm.
change in my life, and the biggest change I needed to have is like getting the shyness out of me because I'm still shy somewhat, but
Yeah,
I
you
was
was
really
super
shy.
antisocial.
And so for me going to Jacksonville, well, that forces me. I have to communicate. I have to do those things. Um, and another thing too, it was me going there. I knew I couldn't. It was hard for me to give up. I thought if I went down there compared if I stayed up here.
Hey, what I told you, I said, listen, I need you to figure it out before you call me, before you call mom, before you call your friends first. Go through A through Z,
Yeah,
and then once you call me, I know you done did everything in your power
yeah,
to figure it out. Cause me personally, as a yeah, it's important to have a support system, but it's
right,
just as important not to
yeah,
abuse it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
independency is when you figure it out. You
right,
know, that's when you maximize your independency. Living by yourself, going to work, paying your bills, that's independent. But okay, now how you gonna figure it out when you don't have no money, you broke, you don't get paid till next week?
right,
What you gonna do? Have a game plan,
yeah,
you know? And then if that game plan doesn't work, have a backup plan,
better plan.
you know?
Yeah, I think for me it's a backup. I always had a backup plan for the most part, but besides the thing that changes me with backup plans is what I wanted to do as a career. Because my whole thing with that was is I was talking with someone. One person kind of downed me out because I didn't have a plan B as far as what I wanted to do, and I said, well, I have the passion for it that no like other person could imagine. So I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket and go for it. Because I believe I can make a living off of it, and so that's what I kind of told myself, and I kind of kept that promise to myself. And so that's one reason why, uh, you know. that's one big reason why I go hard as I do everything as hard as I can every day. Is
Um,
that
I
what?
personally know what you went through, but you don't gotta get into details. But I personally know what you went through your first year of college. I
Yeah,
want you to give some advice to people who may go across the nation like you did. You didn't literally go across the nation, but you went thousands of miles
yeah,
away from
the big
home,
jump, right? Yep,
and by my shit, you had friends, but you are like me. If you don't come up to me first, I'm not talking to you.
yeah,
And it's not out of disrespect. It's just I'm a homebody through and through. I'm a home, which means I stay at home and I stay to myself. If I go out in public, I'm not really too social. I can be social, but I'm not very social, you know?
right.
And he's the same way. So what advice can you give to people going into their first year of college? They're far away from home. They don't have no friends, and you having a bad time transitioning to that.
Um,
Go give the young kids, the young adults some advice on
yeah,
how to change that to get through
for
that.
sure. You know, a lot of people they tell me join clubs and stuff like that. That's a big way, for sure. But I think the biggest thing for me was is making connections with your professors. That was the biggest thing because when I made the connection with the professor I have now, it changed my life. She helped me figure things out. She helped me. She was the reason. She was the big reason why I got into the internship. So like things like that. So for me, the big one is definitely make connections with your professors.
I want to dive deep into that real quick because I know you had a hard time juggling personal life here in Connecticut and school life in Florida. Now, how did you manage to balance that out? Because I know you had a hard time because we had a few deaths in the family and,
Yeah. Uh,
a
yeah.
lot of immaturity. How did you balance that out?
Yeah. Well, I had to first. I had to have a straight up and honest conversation with myself and figure out where I was, and then again, really content like talking. Like I didn't tell my professors the full details. I told them there's just a lot going on, and so one professor really stuck out to me. Shout out to Dr. Simmons. She's been there all the way with me. She understands my situation, and she kind of helped me transition and help me to get where I am and figure out things. And, you know, and like even like now, like she always checks up on me and makes sure that I'm doing all right. So things like that. So yeah, but yeah, for sure. Actually being able to force myself to reach out to people was the biggest thing for me. But yeah.
That's awesome. Now let's transition real quick. Let's bring it back a little bit. How was Jonathan like in high school?
Um, there was different phases of me in high school. I feel like, um, but overall, I think for me it was I was really shy, but I wanted to I was willing to put in the work as far as my education. But yeah, I think I was very misunderstood it as a high schooler to a lot of other kids because I was really quiet and but they see me always work they always see me working hard in the lab and stuff like that. So a lot of it was is that I again like I was really enclosed, shy person, uh but yeah, I feel like I was very misunderstood, but yeah, it was due to that I was shy. Um, but yeah, um,
would there be anything you would have changed? You think you would have been more social, been more active with friends?
I so the thing is, I had my friends, but um, I was so for me, I wouldn't change a thing, uh, because I feel like with certain events that happened, like that, I wouldn't be where I am now. But and I kind of liked being on the shy side in high school because I didn't have to deal with really much drama. I was kind of to myself. I had my couple friends, and yeah, we there was some drama, but it wasn't anything too crazy for me. So I kind of liked it in that aspect. Um, and then for me, it was, I was really close to all the teachers there, so I had close connections with all those teachers. But yeah, I wouldn't really have changed the thing for myself. I think it helped me out in that situation. But at the same time, I guess it made college a little bit hard. The fact that I was on the shyer side, but you know it. But I feel like everything happens for a reason, so I wouldn't have, in my opinion, I would say no to changing anything. Um, but yeah.
Quick shout out. I just want to do a quick shout out to my young boy Xavier.
Oh yes.
Man, you are an amazing kid, man. Listen, man. If we being honest, if we being honest, when you and Jonathan being little, if you would have told me that Xavier was on his way to be something huge in college, I would believe it. You
Oh yeah.
know, that kid is the most humblest, most respectful young man, and I know you listening to this because you listen to me every week. I just
Yeah.
want to personally let you know that I love you, kid, and you will always be my little brother, man. I appreciate you for keeping Jonathan out of trouble. I appreciate you for always for protecting Jonathan, having Jonathan's back. Man, you are awesome dude, man, and I
Yes.
and I and I wish nothing but greatness for you.
Yes. For sure.
And let's segue to this because I'm interested. I'm interested to know what was it like being the little brother of Isaiah on an everyday basis, just growing up.
Um. You know. You know. I think for me, it was great for me because I looked up to you as a role model and whatnot. Uh, so I was able to learn so much off of you, and you was hard on me sometimes, but it helped me out in the long run. Things got chaotic a little bit, as you know, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world. But yeah, I, I think for me is that again you was so hard on me, so I figured out things very fast compared to a lot of other kids that I went to school with. Um, but yeah, um,
What are some of the things you learned from me?
um, you know, it's you know, it it could be like different things from uh like you always kind of instilled in me, that that I'm gonna be you always knew that I was gonna be great from a young age. So I know like the biggest thing for you was like making sure I knew that and and kind of pushing me to be the greatest person I could be, and obviously trying to steer me away from the bad things and making sure that I was going the right track that I needed to be and stuff like that. It just to me though is like I it it's like some people think it's like the littlest thing, but to me it's like the biggest things. You know, I just feel like every single day I was able to kind of learn something from you. You know, like the little conversations we had. You know, about life and whatnot. Just pulling that and take and using it myself. Um, and so for me, like even now, uh, like a lot of my closest friends for the most part are older than me because in that kind of fact because for me I love hanging out with older people because I can take what they say and kind of use it my own and figure things out and in that aspect and kind of pick different things from different people but yeah, I think for me it was kind of from you at least the biggest thing is it was our like our straight up life conversations and
Um, how about them Jets?
yeah, uh I don't know how to feel about it right now. We got the dub the other day. Um it's been a wonky season for us, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I feel like Zach Wilson. I feel like I feel like he is a decent quarterback. I just think we just have a lot of problems as a team in whole that we have to figure out. But yeah, because like
You
yeah,
how you think y'all will be next year with Aaron Rodgers?
I think I think it will be better. I really do. Um, I feel like Aaron Rodgers still has something in the tank to for us to have a good season. I don't know. I just think him being on the field will I don't know. I just feel like we'll be better with him for some reason.
Y'all defense is nasty. That's one thing I gotta give y'all credit for.
Yeah.
Y'all could have
We,
won a lot more games than y'all won just off the principle that y'all defense have kept y'all in a lot of games.
oh yeah, yeah, no,
But
yeah, for sure, yeah. I think
but
one of our issues we have to figure out is that O line issue for sure. But yeah, no, our defense I feel like our defense is like one of the top defenses in the league for sure.
all right, how you feeling about the Miami Heat?
Hey, from at the beginning of the season, we were what the worst team in the league to where we are now. Um, I think for us, I think we'll be okay. I think we have the depth to make to make some noise in the Eastern Conference for sure. Um, we're not like a super team, but the thing about us is that we have depth. Uh, but but yeah, I don't think we'll be. I don't. We're not as a good as a team we were last year. I don't feel like, but I feel like we'll make some noise this year in the Eastern Conference for sure. Um, but but yeah,
By the way, everybody who have played basketball with me in their lifetime, I just want to let y'all know that Jonathan got a better jump shot than me.
no, I do not. You have that jump shot. Like you're the king.
That lefty jumper
No,
was
I
butter.
had a little bit of a mid range, but that's pretty much it.
All right, brother. As you know, because you listen every week, we do something every week that's top. That's called. We do a segment called Top Five.
Yep.
But you specifically, I got a special top five for you this week. But
Okay.
I'll make it easier for you. I'll do a top three.
Okay.
All right, young Jonathan. What is your top three favorite meals that I cook for you?
Oh. Uh. You know, for me, my personal top because it's just my favorite meal to have. Number one is chicken parm. That's my number one for me for sure, for sure. Um. Hmm. it's really tricky with you because I really love all your meals you make, but uh, um, definitely chicken parm. Um, so so when we're talking about meals, is it like multiple things on one plate or
Anything. Like if I cook dinner or just cook anything, and here you go.
so
Well,
can it be like just one thing like mac and cheese?
yeah, it could be French fries. It could be chicken
Okay,
nuggets. It could be
okay.
anything.
So yeah, so number one chicken parm, and then I would say number two, uh, I really like. I know you made it a couple of times, but I really like the it. What is it like that seafood mac and cheese thing that you used to make?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really like that you make. And then probably three is probably I love your steak that you make too.
Hey, medium rare, nothing more, nothing less.
Yes.
Keep them hockey pucks out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't mess with the hockey pucks.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you didn't say salmon Alfredo, cause that stuff be good.
Well, that stuff is good for sure. That'll probably be like my number four.
All right, man. This was amazing. I hope to see you on here again.
For sure.
Or
Yeah. Thank you
maybe
for having me. Yeah.
you start a podcast and I jump on yours. Or
Yeah.
when I get Xavier on here, you can get on here and we can have one big brotherly talk.
Yeah. For sure. I'll enjoy that. Yeah. Thank you again for having me. It was
Hey
amazing.
man, listen man, I was not gonna do this podcast without you on it, and most importantly, I couldn't start having hosts or guests until I had you on here
For sure. For sure.
because that's just important to me. Everybody knows that I have a total pone in life, and Jonathan will always be up there. He always has a special place in my heart. Like we could be fighting, we could be beefing, but he always has a special place in my heart, and not because he's my brother. Is he's a very special guy. The people who knows him, they know what I'm talking about. You know, he's a special guy. You know, I'm just glad that he is keeping that chip on his shoulder and he's proving everybody wrong. You know, that's what I'm most proud about. I'm not gonna throw no names out there, but they know who they are. Jonathan know who they are. You
Yep.
know,
Yep. Keep
and I'm
receipts.
proud. But before we close out, is there anybody in particular that you want to shout out? Cause
Um.
I'm big on shouting out on here.
Yeah. For sure. Shout out to Xavier. He's a big reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And obviously, shout out to you. I wouldn't be here without you for sure. Um, but um, but yeah, really y'all too. Shout out to everyone that has helped me that got here. But yeah,
I personally want to shout out your friends Matt and
oh
Ryan
yeah, Matt,
and their
yeah,
parents,
yeah.
you know, because
They're a big part.
they
Uh, if we're even going there, and besides Matthew Ryan's parents, shout out to, it's not even just them. There's other people, I have other friends and their family that have been a big part of my life. So shout out to everyone else too. There's so many people. Um, but yeah, I would not be doing what I'm doing without them. Um, they supported me and they continue to support me. Um, and so
and
yeah,
I got one more shout out. I want to shout out our mom, Miss Dorothy
yep,
Venerable.
yep, mom,
You, cause I just wanna take a couple seconds, minutes to say, even though we all have our ups and downs as family, I want to say that I appreciate you for being a single mother and doing your best, whether it was working 70 hours a week, rather if it's working doubles, rather if it's losing sleep,
Yeah.
rather if it's Christmas, rather if it's Thanksgiving every year, rather if it's Christmas meals every, you make it happen. You've
Yep.
always made it happen, even if you came short of.
Yeah.
And we being children, we not understanding it. I just want to say I appreciate you, and I want to say personally that I wouldn't replace anybody for you. You are the
Yes.
queen. You are the head honcho. Without you, there's no me. There's no Jonathan. Not because you made us, but I'm talking about you were both our parents.
Yes. For sure.
You
Yeah.
know,
Big
and there
shout
was
out to
only
mom.
so much, and there was only so much you can do.
Yep.
And that's why, I took the responsibility. I said, yo, mom, don't worry about Jonathan. I got him, you know.
Big shout
So
out to
big
mom.
shout out, big shout out to mom, big shout out to Matthew and Ryan, and especially their parents. I remember when you graduated, and I specifically told them, I said, I want to thank you for protecting Jonathan when he wasn't in my hands,
Yeah.
because it was either you was with me or you was with them,
Yep.
you know. And especially Xavier. That's a big shout out. That's a huge one for me.
Yep.
And shout out to Mr. Rhodes for getting both of us
Yeah. Both of
for
us.
getting us both right.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I love you
Me too.
and thank you, man.
Yeah.
See
Thanks
you
for having
again,
me. Yeah.
man.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure. Hey, man. One love.
One love.